Okay, so we are ready to begin the submission of messages and handling our chat messages inside of our topic. So in order to do this, the first thing we want to do is this enter a message area. We definitely want to start tracking those events. So we want to be able to submit a message and do something with it. So let's go ahead and let's head over to our topic here. And inside of our topic LiveView template, where we have that section that has our field, here it is. So here's our form and our input field. So let's just go ahead and let's set this to be to have a Phoenix submit. And let's do submit message can be our event. And then when we submit a message, our message will come through on the submit message event. So we need to handle this event. So in order to handle this event, we'll come over here into our topic live module, and we'll add an event handler. So if we don't implement this event handler, then when we make a submission, our page will break. So this should break. And if we hit enter, we can see that the page doesn't do anything, and we get a big warning here on our error logs for our server. So it says handle event is undefined, and it gives us the definition of what was sent through. So yeah, this should break, and it did. So what we can do is we can just create an event handler here. So def event handler, I get to paste, I just copied and pasted everything that was in the error log here to speed up some time. And then if that happens, we want to handle this event. So to handle this event, for now, one of the things that we need to do is we need to just give it a reply. So, or give it a return, I mean. So we'll say no reply, and we'll pass the socket in here. So let's see, there's an error here because we didn't return, we didn't capture the socket that was being passed to here. So that'll fix that. And then what we can do is let's just add our logger. So I just want to see that our message is coming through. This is the value that we should capture. This will be our message. So there's our message, and then we can output our submit message. So I'll change this just to be clear. So what I'm looking for now is I'm looking to see that when I make a submission, that it comes through here in our server logs. So let's go over here. I'll just say, hi, I am a message. And if I submit that, it looks like it did come through. It says, hi, I am a message. And it came through. The one funky thing is that our text didn't disappear. So in order to get that to erase when I'm hitting enter, we'll want to go ahead and reset that message back to nothing. So we'll do assign, and we'll set this to assign to our socket that the message is then going to be reset to message. And I guess we would need to add that to the form then. So we'll need to set the initial value of the form to be a message. Okay. So if we, that's going to break. Yeah, because I just realized that we need to also mount that. So let's go back to our mount here, and let's make sure that we have an initial message. So we'll say message is equal to nothing initially, and then our page should work now. So here we go. So if alternatively, if we were to say message like some random text, then our message would default to that. So we're mounting the page with a message value, and this variable is being initialized to hold nothing in it. If we submit the event, I guess we want to also reset that to nothing. So after we submit the event, we want it to get set back to nothing. So hello, and I hit enter, and it came through, but it didn't reset it to nothing here. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's also add a change event. In the documentation for Phoenix LiveView, it says that in order to handle real-time form validation and saving, your form must use both the Phoenix change as well as the Phoenix submit bindings. So that is necessary for Phoenix LiveView to operate correctly. So that way whenever the text changes, we are going to assign to our message that value. So what we need to do in order for this to get erased here is we need to have a change event. So let's come in here where we have Phoenix. We'll add a change event, and we'll call this one, we'll call this message change. And then we can go ahead and come in here, and if we type, it throws an error because we need to track that message change. So we can cheat again by trying to take, well, it keeps spitting out errors here. So I'll just type this one out because the server's spitting out errors at me, and I'll stop that server really quickly then so I can capture it. Copy and pasting is so much easier sometimes. So def handle event, we're going to paste all this stuff in here, set up the socket, and then we are going to also do a no reply. And we'll assign to the socket our message. We'll assign it message. So if what we do is we capture the message change, and we don't need this target or anything here. We just need to capture from the chat form. We just need to capture the message, and we can pattern match on the message that gets passed. We just want to capture the message that's been updated and repass it into the form. So that way, we're basically communicating to Phoenix that this information, this data, this change to the form has been validated. And as long as that is validated, then when we come in here, oh, it looks like I have a typo here. I see. So it's saying that there's an invalid return from the handle event callback. And I'm returning I had a typo here. So this should be no reply because we don't need to send a reply back to the client in this case. Okay, so just to do a quick recap, now that we've settled all those typos and everything, we have our form working so that way we can type a message in here now, and when we hit submit, it'll get rid of it after we're done, and it submits it as an event, so that way it says hello. We're just logging that for now, but eventually what we're going to do in the next couple steps is we're going to display that to the page. But I just want to explain really quickly that we have the reason we have a submit message as well as a message change. And I just wanted to explain the reason that we have that is that in the documentation for Phoenix LiveView, it says that in order to handle real-time form validation and saving, your form must use both the Phoenix change as well as the Phoenix submit bindings. So on the form that we have a Phoenix change as well as a Phoenix submit. So that is necessary for Phoenix LiveView to operate correctly. I wanted to explain that because we're not really doing anything right now with this message change that we have. We're really just taking the message that we're getting in and reassigning it to the socket. So we're just kind of tracking it in real time. And I'll show you that. So if I take this logger here and I just modify it to print out the message change, you'll see that when I type here HELLO, every single time I type that, it comes out through here in every time we change the input field. So HEHEL. So it just basically takes the message that we're typing. So every time there's a change, it takes the whole message that's being typed into there and it sends it over to the message to the Phoenix change event. And so that's, again, just necessary in order for LiveView to function correctly according to their documentations. So that's why we did it. And the nice thing about that is, as they mentioned, it can support real-time validation and so forth. But we're not really worried about that for now. We're just appeasing the specs, and we're just taking the message in as it is and leaving it untouched and assigning it to the socket so that the socket always has that message tracked up to date. And that makes sure that the message that's stored inside of the input value is correctly set here in the form. And that's it. That's all we really need to know for now. So we have we haven't done anything crazy with this yet, but we have the placeholders for our events. So now we have a submit event that's called submit message, and we're going to use this now to submit our events onto the broadcast them to other users. So we'll go ahead and continue building this out in the next steps.